No Josh Kennedy, no Jack Darling. Can the Eagles win without him? We're about to find out. Hello, everyone. Welcome along. Optus Stadium is the place to be on a Thursday night. Lockie reading commentary alongside Dennis Committee. Andrew Embley is our expert. Tanya Armstrong on the boundary and the beast. He's ready to rumble as well. He'll be looking after our Bosch tool stats. Den, thanks for looking after things.
Where have you been?
I've just been downstairs, just hovering, making sure everyone got in. Yeah, just hovering. Okay. Had a bit of a news commitment
Clearly
as well.
You failed your job. There's not many here.
Well, I've got some information for because when I was hovering around the gates, trying to get an exclusive story, Nick Nat Nui drove up to the gates. Yeah. No pass from Nick Nat.
Oh, wow.
No pass.
Is he out there?
Security didn't recognise him. I had to pull some strings to get him into the ground.
Well,
I had to say, this is Nick Nat.
This is the real
West Coast Eagles.
Well, thank goodness he's out there from an Eagles perspective.
I saw him this morning. I was down having a cup of coffee down near City Beach. He was having a swim this morning, Nick Nat.
He likes to go for a bit of a swim. Yeah, puts it on Instagram regularly.
Does he?
So, look, he's out there. So you can thank me, West Coast Eagle fans, and you can also thank me because Ember's John Worsfold, I'm told, he wasn't on the bus coming in with his team, the Essendon team. He actually walked from the hotel, the city, right to.
Well, there you go. Hey, Lockie, you are all over it today.
Information I bring.
Wow. I'll do that next week. I'll hang out down there.
We know he's a Perth guy, and this is a wonderful city here in WA, so I thought showers were expected, but it looks like it's actually not too bad at the moment, so it might have been an opportunity for Woosh to go and have a bit of a walk and clear his head.
I know back when he was coaching the West Coast Eagles, did a lot of running, didn't he, on the day of the game? He just had a chance to just freshen up his mind for the game, so that's probably what he did. Let's get stuck into this, because more important things than my rubbish that I'm talking about now. West Coast without Darling and also Kennedy. I know you've spoken about it, but just develop that a little bit more. How do they get goals out of this team? Fraser McInnes comes in. He kicked 6 in his career.
Well, it's a big test, isn't it, for the West Coast Eagles? Even last week, 60-plus inside 50 entries, but only 5 marks inside forward 50 for the Eagles. So no Darling, no Kennedy. We've spoken about that. The Eagles are going to have to rejig that forward line. McInnes, as you said, been on the list for 7 years. Played 13 games, so he's not certainly the player that they expect to stand up and kick 5 or 6 tonight, but he will play a role inside that forward 50 area for the Eagles. They're going to have to lower the eyes. If they blaze away and think they can just kick the ball long, then guys like Hurley and Hooker will be able to win the football back. We know how quick Sard is on transition, so the Eagles are going to have to be very mindful, being patient when they go inside their forward 50 tonight.
Okay, Ty, this is the Triple M footy preview. Need equipment in a hurry. Call Tyre on 13 15 52. On the flip side, Joe Danaher hasn't been part of the Bombers outfit for a couple of weeks and looks like he's got a long stint ahead of him. How do they conjure up goals here at Optus Stadium?
You get the feeling 12 goals wins tonight. Yeah. Beautiful night for football, you've got to say, so maybe they can push it out just a little bit. But Stringer's got 17. McDonald, Tip and Woody is next best with 12, so they've got a similar problem. Of course, the Eagles don't normally have that, but with those couple of outs, of course, they do. So I think they'll be stretched tonight, the Eagles, and it won't be an easy night for their fans. I think they'll be on edge most of the evening. I think it's going to be a close game, whether they get up. And they're warm favourites when you talk to people around town. Everyone is thinking this is a soda. I think it's anything but. I mean, Essendon must be desperate. Lose tonight, and their chances of making the finals are almost o-o-coco.
Yep, absolutely. Andrew Gaff remains a key player in this game. Members reports from the East that West Coast have upped the ante in his contract, a 6-year deal now. He's a free agent. They want to keep him. 4 clubs from Melbourne want to get hold of him, but he comes into this game with impressive form against Essendon. His last 2 of his last 3 games, 3 votes and 2 votes in the Brownlow medal. A key player averaging high 30s.
Well, he's that link man, isn't he, for the West Coast Eagles? They get it to him on the outside and he runs and carries and just uses the football so well. He's one of the hardest working players in the West Coast Eagles team. So, as you said, got a good record against Essendon. John Worsfold knows him really well. It'll be interesting to see whether they try to shut him down on the outside. But no doubt Andrew Gaff tonight, certainly a player that Essendon will have to nullify.
He's a remarkable player, you've got to say, averaging 26 possessions a game over his career against Essendon and top 10 for disposals across the AFL this year. That is a lot of ball getting, isn't it? Quite outstanding player. Interesting player because some people don't realise courage comes with hard running. I mean, that's what it's about. It's not just that you're an outside player necessarily. You've still got to work. And I think he's become harder in the last couple of years for the Eagles.
Well, he has.
Yeah, and that's hard to do mid-career.
He's put a bit of weight on. So in the early days, he started to get a little bit of a tag and really struggled with that. And because he was lightly framed, he wasn't able to be thrown in the deep end. But since he's been able to put some muscle on, at times West Coast are certainly got no issue in putting him around the contest. And whilst he wins a lot of football on the outside, he does win contested possessions as well.
Suited very much by this ground too. He's been a star on this ground this year.
For Bob Jane T-Marts, let's head to the boundary. 10.
Yes, you've crossed to me at the noisiest time because they just had the toss and they're asking everyone to stand up. So Essendon captain Dyson Heppel won the toss. He, of course, has recovered from that bout of concussion of that brutal bump from Luke Hodge. So Dyson Heppel won the toss. He's decided to kick to the eastern end of the ground, so that's the left-hand side of your dial. There is 0 wind. There's no chance of rain tonight. There was a bit this morning, so the ground is a little slippery, and there is thousands and thousands of people still trying to get in, so I had to fight my way to my seat, but it is a very big crowd. They're hoping for 50 plus and looks like they're going to get it.
Yeah, it looks fantastic at the moment. The bright lights, the blue and gold are flashing around, and they're getting the fans to stand, as you said, Tan. Of course, we'll keep you up to date with the Socceroos in Denmark, the World Cup underway, and there are reports, Dan, that Optus Stadium has now become SBS Stadium.
Your material? Your material.
No, I stole it. But you laughed and I'll clap it.
No,
anyway.
that's very good. No, I like that a lot.
All right, we're about to get stuck into it. Of course, Macca's looking after us this afternoon. Pick up the McOz lunch deal for just $5 at Macca's between 10:30 and 2 p.m. For McDonald's, Triple M Rocks Footy, here's the best in the business, Dennis Cometti.
So, a big night for both these clubs. Essendon falling off the pace, although they've won 3 of their last 4. And the West Coast Eagles right up there, but certainly diminished tonight by the loss of their 2 key forwards, the opening ball up. Rucks go at it, spills to Heppel, hand passes to Bill Chambers, kicks to half forward, Bagley takes the mark. Right on the line of the 50, kicks to space, and that was a very clever kick. It's Brown on the lead, who's taken the mark right on the 50.
Great start for Essendon. Bell Chambers in particular wins the first tap, and then the follow-up to be able to win the clearance. And McGovern has started back for the West Coast Eagles. This will be a terrific start. Mitch Brown kicked a couple last week.
And he comes then. Kick is on the way. Hasn't got the carry. I doubt it has. They'll compete right on the goal line. Nat Nui is there. Ball punched high in the air, and then Schofield comes in and just pushes it back across the line. And that start indicative of what's been a strength for them at the stoppages this season. Bell Chambers did very well.
Short pass is a good one to McGovern. Came from Jeddah. 30 out from his defensive goal, and then a 50-metre penalty against the Bombers. Going over the mark, so McGovern will be dragged into the centre square. Umpire still going. It's a long 50. He's right now in the centre circle, the man on the mark. Handy bonus for the Eagles. He'll spread it wide. So just one behind the Bombers. West Coast yet to score. Shepherd takes that mark and comes back towards the centre square to Jeddah, and they'll switch play. Come to this broadcast side to Schofield. Now to Hearn. Had a super season, the skipper. Goes short to the wing. Nelson's taken that. And he kicks it along the line. So good possession footy at the moment, Embers, from West Coast, and Marston has taken the mark. Still 1 plays nothing, and Marston will kick it to the top of the 50. Nat Nui's the man in front, pushed out of the way though. Terrific mark by Bell Chambers. He was far too strong for Nick Nat Nui, and he'll take the mark in his defensive 50.
Goes short to Smith. Marks across half-back. Saad runs off half-back, takes the hand pass, beats about 3 West Coast Eagles, has a belated bounce and his second, kicks inside the forward 50. Well played by Saad. Great dash off half-back, and Bagley's taken the mark. Didn't just run and blaze. He found a teammate, and that teammate goes to Heppel. Heppel runs to 50, lights his chances, miscues with a kick. It wobbles down towards the goal line, marked inside the field of play by Brown. Now, this is a real chance to kick a goal. He comes back adjacent to the behind post. The man on the mark is about 5 metres off the line of the square. Brown comes around and snaps a goal. Great start by the Bombers. Saad's run terrific. And there's the opening goal of the game. 1-1-7, the Bombers. And the Eagles are yet to score.
The perfect start from the Bombers. Bell Chambers, well, won the first tap of the game, won the first clearance, and then just too strong for Nick Nat Nui. A terrific start from him, and as Dennis called it, Saad, his run and carry off back will be really important. West Coast couldn't slow that ball movement down. And Mitch Brown, he's been lively too.
He's had both scoring opportunities, Mitch Brown, so good start from him. We have a look on the Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay. Chemist Warehouse, the real house of fragrances. It was a great dash from Saad, and we look forward to seeing more of that throughout the afternoon. For McDonald's, Triple M Rocks footy, the tap down good from Nat Nui. Stripped of it though was Shuey. Here's Smith shrugging off the tacklers and just getting a hand pass away through the legs of Stringer, still in the centre square. West Coast come up with it. Jeddah under pressure, loses possession. There'll be a free kick though. It'll come back towards Gaff, and then Gaff for West Coast will kick it out towards the wing to Yo, to Redden, chips it over the top to a man that's loose in Rioli. He can hand pass further afield to the 50. Lacroix tried to get it on his left. He was tackled. Well played, Goddard. Gets away the hand pass. It was a nice one to Langford. And the Bombers will just caress the ball around the boundary line at right half back. A fumbled mark from Brown, though, will be turned over. Yo gave it to Duggan for West Coast. His kick not so good. The Bombers back with the footy.
Saad's got it across half back. Measures his kick. McKenna likes to run too. Marks inside the centre square. He's had two bounces. Runs down towards centre half forward. Beautiful kick for Stringer. Stringer leading to the pocket. And already you feel West Coast have got their hands full.
Outstanding Bombers. We've spoken about how good their pressure has been. Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay started with Goddard. Forced Lacroix into the turnover. Duggan, poor kick because of the pressure from Essendon. They win the footy back, and then on transition, they had space inside forward 50, had a really good one-on-one, and Stringer was just too mobile for McGovern.
Nat Nui comes off the ground. Meantime, Stringer shooting at goal. Man on the mark is about 30 metres out. That's McGovern. Stringer's kick is good. How's this for a start? Essendon 2-1-13 now. And that's on the Triple M Beaumont Tiles scoreboard. Tradies, head to beaumonts.com.au to find out how you can get 60 kilos of free CTA glue. Explain that to me.
It's glue.
I'm not handy.
You can get it at...
Yeah, glue, yeah.
Yeah,
good.
Beaumont Tiles.
Yeah.
What you can do.
Pressure, that's what it's about. That's how you beat the West Coast Eagles. We've seen the Sydney Swans. The Eagles' two losses this year have come because the Swans have applied a lot of pressure to them to win the footy back. And so far in this game, Essendon, they're tackling, they're chasing, and then quick transition. It's been a really impressive start by them.
Flying start from the Bombers. 2-1-13 plays nothing. Out of the middle again, West Coast. High kick from Yo. Up towards the top of the 50. Backing back with the pack was terrific mark. It was Day who's taken it. Read it best against Lacroix, who goes shorts. This has been really impressive from the visitors. Haven't won here in the West since John Worsfold was coaching the West Coast Eagles back in 2013. That also was a Thursday night game. The kick to the boundary line was tight. It was gathered though, and the Bombers will kick it along the line. It was Guelphy, the West Aussie. Long kick in the direction of Green. He couldn't take the mark, got the hand pass away. He'll get it back though, and the hand pass to him was just a little astray from Bagley, and it rolls over the line and out of bounds. 2-1-13 the Bombers. The West Coast Eagles yet to score. 6.5 gone in the first quarter.
Got to say these Bombers are looking sharp at the moment. Great start by them. Lycett now to battle with Bill Chambers. Lycett first hand to it. Comes down to Guelphy though. Hand passes to Heppel. Heppel high ball inside the forward 50. Punched away by McGovern. Taken by him. Tackled by Merritt. Down he goes. Goes down with the football, but held to him, says the umpire. So a ball up in a dangerous spot to defend for the West Coast Eagles, directly in front of goal, about 25 metres out. Umpire wasting no time, gets it in the air. Trying to go through the pack there was Merritt. He's taken down, and the umpire will do the business again. As we said, not a vast crowd tonight. It has built up in the last few minutes. Cool night, terrific night for footy. Out of the congestion, hurried kick by Shuey, taken by Langford, hooks it across his body and hits the post. They're attacking incessantly at the moment, the Bombers, from the West Coast Eagles bailing.
They certainly are, Dent. Not many inside 50s for West Coast. Lots for the Bombers. We'll get that from the Beast in just a moment. Triple M Bosch still stats as Hearn plays on from full back, goes short. Just the distance to Shepherd in the right back pocket. Bombers lead it by 14. We've only gone 7.5 minutes in this first quarter. The kick along the line, strong mark. That was terrific. Fraser McInnes into the team for West Coast. He was up against Hooker and he held on to that one. Strong mitts there from Fraser. You call him the workhorse here at West Coast as he kicks it along the line in the direction of Lycett. Had the ball fisted away from him. Day put his head down, couldn't collect it, then went to lay the tackle. It was a good one on the wing. And we'll have another ball up. So it's still the Bombers 2-2-14. West Coast yet to score. We've now ticked over 8 minutes in this first quarter for McDonald's. Triple M Rocks footy.
Tossed in the air by umpire Dalglish, taken by Heppel. So good around the clearances. Off hands, taken by Shepherd across half back for the West Coast Eagles, but kicks it directly to Goddard, who plays a similar role for his team. He lowers the eyes and punches the ball quickly. Langford takes the mark in his hands, plays on, kicks it across the ground. Bagley in space now. Dropping back is Green. It goes in that direction. Getting across was Hearn. Gives a fist to it and gets it out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in the right full forward pocket.
Early inside 50s, 5-2 in favour of Essendon, and they are converting at a 60% clip into scores for Triple M. Bosch Tools stats.
Good on your base. Mark Committee looking after them this evening. The tap down good from Lycett. Down towards Jenner. Having a few touches. Good contest in the middle of the ground. Rioli attacked it nicely. And to his team's advantage, the ball goes up towards halfback. Cut off by Hurley. He gave it to Goddard. Through the middle they come. Sard puts his teammate in Myers under pressure. He got away the hand pass to Merritt. His quick kick inside 50. Trapped though by the West Coast Eagles in Lycett. His kick was under pressure. He was tackled, fell to ground. Two Eagles ran at it. Couldn't gather it. Merritt could. He kicks deep again. It was a great kick in the ends. Went over the top of Green's head. Straight to Bell Chambers, who'll take the mark and kick from 45 metres out. That was lucky stuff.
Lucky stuff, but at the moment it's been all Essendon because they're setting up well behind the football and they're putting good pressure on, and West Coast can't clear their defensive half. And the Bombers have been able to win the footy back and getting repeat inside 50 entries, and Bell Chambers is having the perfect start to this game.
So the big man from just inside 50 will launch it on its way. Looks terrific off the boat. The Bombers are on fire. What a start from the visitors. They're 3-2-20. The Eagles, zilch, nothing. 10.5 gone in the first quarter. That's on the Triple M Beaumont-Toll scoreboards.
Outstanding start by the Bombers. They've come over with a plan. So far they're executing it. Their pressure around the contest has been outstanding. Ranked one in the competition for tackles in the last month, and they've laid some strong ones tonight to be able to win the footy back, and they're up and about at the moment. It's a really, really good start.
Super special comments with Andrew Embley. Optus Stadium tonight. Terrific start by these Bombers. They're looking fine. Fettel playing with a lot of confidence. Ball restarted. Good bounce. Bell Chambers, one of the easily. McDonald, Woody goes back after it. Gets away. Gives a hand pass across towards Stringer. He started in the centre square. Kicks it down towards left half forward. Back goes Shepherd. Grabs it close to the boundary line. And this kick goes around the boundary and pitched, I think, right on the line. It'll be tossed in. Well, if he meant that, that's pretty good stuff. Shepherd. He had more time than he knew. It was a hurried kick. Still, the result's not bad. But generally, from the stoppages so far, it's been the Bombers. So let's see what happens here. Bell Chambers doing a terrific job. Wins it decisively down towards McDonald, Woody. Plays it to his own advantage. Hand passes back, taken by Devon Smith. He's in trouble. Heard the voice. Gives it to Heppel at the interchange gates. He sends a high one down towards half forward. Ball comes off hands, taken by Bagley. Went to his knees. Hand passes to a man standing alongside. That was Brown. It goes off him and falls back in the direction of Bagley. Scrum develops and the umpire will ball it up.
It's still the Bombers by 20 points. Great start to them, and it's going to be a free kick going their way. Bell Chambers thrown off the footy by Nat Nui. Quickly gathers it, kicks inside attacking 50. Schofield had to go the fist. Ball bouncing towards the goal. It's hit the behind posts. And there's a lot of push and shoving going on at the moment. The umpire may have just picked up a free kick. McGovern threw his opponent Brown over the boundary line. Smith's come in to say a few words. Umpire says we'll throw it back in. No free kick. Ball thrown back in. That Nui man in front tapped it down. Stringer, strong as ever, brought the ground. Surely holding the ball. Yes, it was. Took on the tacklers. In fact, took on 2 or 3. Lost possession, and West Coast will get the free and a 50-metre. So Devon Smith didn't give the ball back. He wasn't sure who to give it back to, Embers. And it's a costly one because he's going to be dragged up to the back of the centre square.
It's a costly one too because it allows the Eagles to get out of the defensive 50 where they've been pinned so far in this game.
The Bombers by 20. The short pass is a good one from Shepherd to Hearn. Still at left half back. And they've been clogged up down the line. They might have to switch play and come to this broadcast side. The Bombers are switched on, no doubt about that. He gave it to Duggan. His kick ordinary. Langford there. Just kicked it off the ground to his teammate. Goddard comes in to help out. Then kicked away by Merritt. Duggan first to it. Couldn't trap it. Lost it. Cripps gathered it. Kicked inside, attacking 50. Through the hands of Lacroix. Loose hand pass to Goddard. Came off okay. And here goes Sard through the middle of the ground. Can anyone catch him? No, they can't. The kick inside, attacking 50. Fist came from Hearn. McGovern falls on the ground. Hand pass is not a great one. Brown, they might gather it for the Bombers. 45 metres out. Big tackle laid. Play on, said the umpire, and the Eagles will get out of trouble.
Nelson comes away. Chips it across half back. Taken by Redden. Marston, great defence by the West Coast Eagles right there. Little chip to the wing. Cripps takes it and goes. It's down towards the pocket. Over the head of the leading player, Lacroix. Lacroix turns quickly, leads back in the race, but the ball beats him across the boundary line. In fact, there's going to be a free kick. It's going to Lacroix against Hurley for a push in the back. Now, this will test him. He's about 10 metres in from the line, 45 metres out, just beyond right half forward. Hurley with a broad grin on his face initially, didn't think it was a free kick. And Lacroix anxious to make them pay. So far in this one side is turned up to play, the other is counter-punching and paddling desperately. The bad news for the West Coast Eagles, had Kennedy and Darling been playing, it hasn't been down there. Lacroix needs to start it, I reckon, outside the line of the right-hand goal post. Well, he doesn't. He starts it on a different line, kicks right across the face. Rioli was up high, couldn't take the mark. Loose ball about 20 metres out from goal. Hurried kick by Redmond, or was it Guelphy? Guelphy's put it out of bounds on the full. Came charging through the pack, threw it on the boot. And Lacroix gets another chance and probably will be aided by that previous kick. He started it, I think it was his intention perhaps to put it on the kickoff line, but distance wasn't a problem. The angle slightly tighter here. So he moves in and kicks right on the boundary, takes something off the kick, just sets it up towards full forward, surprised everybody. Ryan grabs it and kicks a goal. That was touched, was it? It was touched. Wow. Well, strange kick, fooled everybody. A couple of Essendon players in front miscued completely. And then Ryan, third in the line, had a quick shot and it was touched.
3-2-20 the Bombers. West Coast one behind. Their first score took them 16 minutes. The kick from Hurley was accurate. It was a nice one, low to the ground. McKernan's taken the mark. He's kicking in the middle of the ground. Tippenwoody will take it. McDonald, Tippenwoody kicks it further afield. Left half forward, gathered by Green. 55 out. Polished football from the Bombers. The kick to the goal square, superb to Stringer. And Stringer from right in front can add another 6-pointer to Essendon's score.
Just their transition at the moment. The Essendon Football Club are really worrying the West Coast Eagles. When they win the footy from half back, they are moving it very quickly. Their forwards are high, and time again they're getting the Eagles defenders out the back.
So Stringer's right in front. He's had a good start to his game, the 24-year-old. Over 100 games now, swapped over from the Bulldogs. And kicks a goal. It was a wobble-up, didn't matter. He was so close, he was never going to miss. The Bombers, 4-2-26. They lead the Eagles just one behind. 17 gone for Bob Jane T-Marts. Heading for the end-of-year financial year deal. Out now. Check out Tam downstairs.
Lots of frustration from mainly Eagles fans in the crowd tonight. Plenty of moans and groans. I'm at the end of the field where the makeshift forward line is operating without Darling and Kennedy not very well. And Mark Lacroix, who's leading the forward line, is very frustrated with his teammates.
Well, this crowd is numb at the moment. You know what they say, their safety and numbness. Well, that's the way they feel at the moment. 4-2 plays a solitary behind. And they've got the job in front of them already, the West Coast Eagles. Counter-punching, not good enough at the moment. Essendon in total control. Natanui digs it out of the middle. Goes across towards Ryan. He was tackled. Langford pinches the ball, kicks it down towards half forward. spills wide. Opportunity for Hearn going back. Is it holding? I think it's going to be a free kick to Brown. He was in the party before, two of them chasing the footy. It spilled across towards Hearn, but in the meantime, Brown, who's been lively so far on the forward line, has got the football about 60 metres out from goal, just sets it up down towards full forward. Stringer in that pack, off hands. McDonald, Tippin, Woody leads in the race, close to the boundary line, can't keep it in. Goes out of bounds and will have a throw in, right full forward for the Bombers, who have done the bulk of the attacking so far.
Bombers now plus 26 in disposals and 11-4 inside 50 in favour of the Bombers 2 for Triple M Bosch Tool stats.
They're killing them, Beast, no doubt about that. Falling to the ground, though, is McKernan. He looks a little hurt in that ruck contest. Natanui got it out. It's with LaCroix, 60 out from his defensive goal. Puts teammate Gaff under pressure. Quick kick forward will bobble into the hands of Goddard. He goes to Hurley. Hurley wants to get back to Goddard. In fact, it went to Green in the end. Quick kick high up to the top of the 50. Should be out of bounds on the full. And West Coast will get a relieving free kick.
Just need to be patient here, the West Coast Eagles. Start to control some football, because at the moment they just can't get the ball in their hands. It's been all Essendon. Just need to slow it down a little bit, see if they can start maintaining a bit of possession.
The voice of Andrew Embley, Triple M Seabus Super special comments. Seabus Super for everyone in building and construction. The kick along the line, once again marked by the Bombers on the far side of the ground. So they're playing well. This is Hooker. He'll kick to the top of the 50, keep the pressure on. It'll go straight over the back of Brown's head, though, and straight into the hands of Shannon Hearn, the skipper. He goes short. They're really battling Embers here to get it out from half back and create any run at all. They'll have to go short again. Still 60 out from their defensive goal, left half back to Schofield. Back in the side. Goes short again at right angles. And Duggan's taken the mark. Still 60 out from their defensive goal. It's the Bombers, 4-2-26. West Coast one behind. 20-odd minutes gone in this first quarter. The kick along the line. Natanui tapped it to his team's advantage. Falling the ground, Cripps. Losing possession, Shuey. Came to the hands of Nelson. Now with the Bombers through Green and also Devon Smith.
Merritt's in there as well. Soccer's off the ground. Ricochets off the umpire. Takes a deflection. Straight to Fantasia. Crowd didn't like that. The kick goes onto the chest of Stringer. Roundly booed as the umpire, but umpire Dalglish, that was just one of those things. And unfortunately for he and the West Coast Eagles, in fact, I don't think it touched umpire Dalglish watching a replay. We're looking for these sorts of things. I think it came off the man behind him, and that was a West Coast Eagle. And ricocheted to Fantasia. Anyway, the beneficiary of all of that is Stringer, who's lining up at his third. You'd like him to kick it from here. His tail's well and truly up, and this one is good. Well, the West Coast Eagles in desperate strife now. They trail by 31 points, just checking that scoreline. It's 5-2 Essendon, one behind the West Coast Eagles, and that's on the Triple M Beaumont Tiles scoreboard.
3 goals now to Stringer. The West Coast Eagles have been ambushed in this first quarter. They knew it was coming. They just have had nothing to be able to stop the Bombers at the moment. Bombers' pressure's been outstanding. Their run and carry, they've been too quick for the Eagles. They've had targets inside their forward 50, plenty of space. The Eagles are going to have to really find something, because at the moment it's been all Essendon.
13-4 inside 50s now in favour of the Bombers, so they are smashing them on the Triple M Bosch Tool stats.
Make sure you pick up your McOz lunch deal for just $5 at Macca's between 10:30 and 2 p.m. For McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy, and the Bombers are out of the middle again, although that kick will be cut off by Yo. Elliot Yo for West Coast at half-back. Kicks wide to the wing. Redden takes the mark. Myers was there to put the pressure on. Redden held on to it just. He'll be forced to kick it up towards right half forward. It was a long kick through the hands of Hooker. Waterman gathered it. Yeah. The kick just out in front of Rioli. Getting there first was Gaff. His hand pass not too bad in the end. Got it to Yo. Broke off a tackle. He gave it to Cripps, who had a man right on him in Bellchambers. Having a big game, Bellchambers. Laid a good tackle. 45 out. We'll have a ball up. This is West Coast, end of the ground. They're in desperate need of a goal. It's the Bombers 5-2-32. West Coast just one behind, 23 gone.
Ball spills wide of the pack after the ball up. Fantasia's in there. McGrath too. Essendon well represented. We've got another whistle and the ball up. So starting the night, West Coast Eagles, 171 goals for the season, 57 of them from Kennedy and Darling. Well, nothing has changed. Ball in the back pocket. Upended McKenna as he kicked it. That was a good effort, actually. Oh, gee. Oh, no. The umpire has played deliberate, and McKenna kicked it when he was in midair. That's a shocker. Kick is taken by Gaff. Back down towards full forward. Big pack in from the side lay set. A chance now. He's caused them a lot of trouble, Sard. Got through again. Hand passes to McGrath. McGrath gives it to D. D goes wide to the outer side, and the mark has been taken out there by Brown. Brown looking down towards half forward, then thinks better of it, goes short and finds McGrath.
McGrath still at right half back. 31 points is Essendon's lead. We've only gone 23 minutes in this first quarter at Optus Stadium, Thursday night footy. The Bombers are up and about, winning 3 of their last 4 games now with Brown still at right half back. He's been a presence in this game. Kicks in the direction of Stringer, had to come from 3 behind. It was fisted away from him, and we'll throw it in the forward half of the ground now by Essendon.
Mentioned Adam Sard before. He's got 6 disposals, 196 metres gained already in the game on the Triple M Bosch Tools stats.
No one can catch him, Beast. Mark Cometti doing the job. Smothered kick, ends up okay for Devon Smith, another of the new recruits. Kicks inside attacking, 51-handers good from Shannon Hearn. He's under all sorts of pressure, and he took the grab. And now the Eagles will spread it out towards the wing. Goes towards Gaff, and there'll be a free kick, chopping in the arms. Gaff will take the free, play on quickly. Here's one man they need to run. It's Jenner, gave it off to Shuey. Shuey's kick's good. Just forward of the wing to Redden. He lobs one over the top to Hutchings. Hutchings gets on his left and just kicks it inside attacking 50. It'll beat McInnes over the line, and we'll throw it in about 10 metres around from West Coast goal. They're just one behind. The Bombers 5-2-32. That's on the Triple M Beaumont Tiles scoreboard.
Bill Chambers so far, an inspiration for the Bombers. Running, doing hard work. This time he wins the tap behind the pack, taken by McGrath, then he lost it. Redden's hand pass goes out wide, taken there by Smith. Devon Smith runs away, kicks up towards the wing. Beautiful pass and a very good mark too under pressure is taken by Brown. The former Geelong player found his home at the Bombers during those problems the club had and hasn't looked back. He's gone back to the back pocket that time though. Obviously looked back. Down Redmond. It comes short. D's got it. A little indecisive. Just lobs it. Sard runs to space, takes the mark. This time nowhere to run to. So he holds up in the back pocket, indicating he wants to go down the line. And he does exactly that. It's a high ball, big pack. Chance behind for Duggan. Got an awkward bounce. Charging in with Shepherd. Shepherd hand passes straight up in the air. Brown did well. Won a hard ball. Now there's a whistle. And it's going to be a free kick back where the ball was won in that congestion. And it will be taken by Shepherd, who I presume was held without it.
So playing on now, Shepherd. He'll kick to the top of his attacking 50 through the hands of McInnes. So he'll gather it. In fact, it was McKenna who gathered it. Kicked out towards the wing. Jeddah just kept it in play. No, he didn't. And we'll throw it in. Far side of the ground on the wing. Triple M Seabus Super Special comments. Here's Andrew Embley.
Only the 7 inside 50s for the West Coast Eagles in this quarter, but the issue is they just haven't been able to put any pressure on. Not good decision-making going inside their forward 50, and Sard in particular has been able to run the ball out way too easy.
Seabus Super for everyone in building and construction. The kick up towards half forward, standing underneath it. Taking a terrific mark for the Bombers, and they'll move it towards the defensive 50, and Hurley has it. Redmond was the man. It was brave stuff, Dan. Had to stand and wait for the ball to come his way. Hurley's kick didn't look great. Donald Tippenwoody made it look all right as he just fumbled the mark and the ball rolled over the boundary line. So still at left half back, Redmond. We see it again on the Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay. That was courageous stuff. Had 2 Eagles coming at him. And he took it on the chest. Ball thrown back into play. It's the Bombers by 31 points. Approaching quarter time. Advantage will play on. No, it'll come back. And Essendon will get a free kick. It's Myers with it.
Haven't called his name too often, but Bill Chambers is just toying with the West Coast Eagles so far, the big fellas. He's 1 out against 2, but he's doing remarkably well. Hurley puts the ball to the outer side. D playing with confidence now, leading to the football. Up comes Hooker. He marks on the wing. West Australian. Been a good player, forward and back. Like him better back. So does Embers. Short one. Back to Hurley. Short. Redmond. Young South Australian. Little chip across. And now the Irishman's got it. McKenna decides to take them on. Well done by Jetta. Grabbed him, but McKenna did well to get boot to ball. Goes up in the air. Travels 25 metres. Marked by Heppel. Heppel is 55 metres out. Looks inside the forward 50. High ball. Stringer playing with great confidence. Almost the mark. Juggled it 3 times. Marston got the crumb. Tackled immediately. With vigour by Essendon. They enjoyed that. They're enjoying this.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's Stringer at his best at the moment. He nearly held on to that. In fact, you could have almost paid it. Here's McGrath rove the ruck contest. Had his kick smothered and the kick away towards the boundary line. Not a good one from West Coast. Think it might have come off gaff. And it's gone over the line and out of bounds. First there, Stringer up and about, but he has to hand it off to Heppel. So Heppel will be outside 50. 29 minutes have ticked over in this first quarter, and it's Essendon by 31 points. Kicks it to the hop slot. Nat Nui went the fist, came out the back. Smith gathers from the angle, kicks towards goal. He's kicked a goal as well. Nothing can stop the Bombers at the moment. 6-2-38. The Eagles are stuck on one behind. That is on the Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard. Tradies, head to beaumonts.com.au to find out how you could get 60 kilos of free CTA glue.
Well, they're shell-shocked, the West Coast Eagles. They have been put to the sword in this first quarter. Essendon all over them in every category. Contested possessions, clearances, inside 50 entries. They've been hungrier. They've hunted a lot better. And it's been an outstanding start. 6 goals to zip right on quarter time.
Dyson Heppel, 9 disposals, 3 clearances, 182 metres gained on the Triple M Bosch Tool stats.
Bounce to the footy. Seconds to go before quarter time. Can't come quick enough for the West Coast Eagles. They've been embarrassed in the first quarter. They're just one behind. The Bombers, they're smashing them. 6-2-38 for McDonald's. Triple M rocks footy.